Hello, everyone. We have such a good show today. I am so excited for this one. We have some anomaly people on to talk about Boston. So I'm really proud of this episode. Did some good interviews. We have the Enlightened and the Resistance leaders from the Anomalies in, and it's it's gonna be so good. I'm really excited for this one. So just a couple minutes here, and we will get started. Seriously though, this episode is gonna be so good. I'm really excited. Hello, live viewers from around the world. Good morning. Got my coffee. Get your coffee or tea or whatever your preferred morning drink is, or if it's not the morning where you are, whatever drink you prefer. It's 11 a.m. somewhere. Oh wait, I screwed this up. The Zello is not open. Hold on. Wait, how did that get on there? There we go. That's what I wanted. This part doesn't matter anyway. It's gonna get cut out. But good morning, everyone. Hello, Bostoners, Bostonites. What are people from Boston called? I should have asked that. Let me Google that real quick. Bostonians. There we go. Hello, Bostonians, or people who wish to become Bostonians for a certain weekend in July. So excited. I'm so excited. I'm really proud of these episodes or these interviews. This is going to be a good one. Very good. Very good episode. This episode is going to run a little bit long, but I'm okay with that because of the quality of these interviews and just the amazing content we have talking to this has never been done before. This is something that's never been done before in the history of Anomalies and Ingress. I've interviewed both the Enlightened and the Resistance leaders from Boston, and they're going to tell you all about their town, all about the swag that they have, all about the community. I want to go to Boston now just from hearing both these groups. This is going to be a good one. Getting those viewers online. I'm doing my HQ trivia impression. so excited. Couple minutes left. Again, this episode's going to be a little bit longer than the normal ones, but it's totally worth it. This is going to be good. I am really excited to hear from Boston. And if you're thinking about going to an anomaly, especially the Boston one, this is the episode to watch. Forget to set anything else up. Got both videos here. Gonna be such a good one. Cross-faction interviews. Hopefully a cross-faction audience. Yes, I'm very, very excited. We'll get started in a few minutes. Getting those viewers online. I really do need a banter person. Need a banter person. I need a producer is really what I need. If anyone wants to be a podcast producer, I need someone to like hit the buttons to switch videos and stuff as we're going. And the audio and the pictures and all that. It's a rainy June morning here in the studio. Well, outside the studio. It's not raining in the studio. That would be very bad because this microphone is expensive. Oh, cool. We've got someone from Chile watching. Hello from the US of A. Love having, that's one thing I love about Ingress is the international audience. It's so cool to see people watching from other places and come to the Boston Anomaly and you'll find out why. Whether you're Enlightened or Resistance, we've got both perspectives coming up here. Get your coffee, get your whatever you drink at this time of the day, wherever you are. Got a nice audience today. Awesome. If anyone else in the chat is not from the US, let me know. I'd love to see where people are from watching today. All right, 1 minute warning. We will be back and we will have the show for you. Hello and welcome to this special episode of the Portal Hunter Club. I'm your host, Agent Red Fox 1701. Today we have such a good episode today. I'm really excited. Today we're going to be doing the first ever anomaly profiles. So today we have interviews from the Enlightened and the Resistance leaders for the Boston Cassandra Prime Anomaly. That anomaly is going to be on July 28th, 2018. Now, as you're watching, if you're interested, the swag shops for both sites are closing soon. So if you see what you like, make sure you check out their swag shops. The registration links are going to be in the description and everything. But okay, this is so awesome. Nothing like this has ever been done before. Portal Hunters, you are in for a treat. So, first up, we have the Enlightened, and we had Agent Pinesinger and Agent Abraham Linkamp. I got it right. And they're here to tell you about the Enlightened setups for the Boston Anomaly. They're going to talk about the community. They're going to talk about banner missions. They're going to talk about their swag. They're going to talk about what else are they going to talk about? It's awesome. So, without further ado, here is the Boston Enlightened. Have Agents Pinesinger and Agent Abraham Linkamp, but they appear to have dropped off. But that's okay. We'll get him back. So Agent Pinesinger, let's hear a little bit about yourself. So how did you get started into Ingress?
I got started in Ingress back in 2014, and it was mostly because Abraham Lincoln made me. She and her husband had started playing, and she told me about this game that they were playing. I'm really not into video games, and I thought it sounded terrible, but she made me sign up. And at that time, there's nobody around playing. I live in a really rural place, so there were really no other agents. There were very few portals. And it sort of slowly caught on, and then I got my husband involved, and then just kind of got sucked in, and here we are more than 4 years later.
Wow, so you have quite the Ingress career. What was your first anomaly that you went to?
My first anomaly was Abaddon in Boston, the first round of flash shards and the first Enlightened flash shard victory.
Nice. Okay, so I think we have Agent Abraham Linkamp back. How did you get into Ingress?
Well, my husband had heard about it on some sort of tech podcast in maybe October or November of 2013. And so he got really sick of me stealing his phone to take portals down. So I got my own cell phone for the first time in December of 2013. And the first thing I did was add Ingress to my phone. And so my first year playing, I had one account and then I lost the email address for that. And I've been Babraham Linkamp ever since about early 2015.
Nice. I like that, and I think I finally have it down. I was struggling remembering it. I think I finally have the name down, and I think I'm hoping with Ingress Prime that they finally figured out how to manage multiple emails or getting people to transfer your email, because that's one pain point I know a lot of people have had lately.
Amen.
Yeah, it was rough.
So go ahead.
And the community was really great. So it's been fun.
Awesome. So let's get into some of these anomaly questions here. So one of the things we want to do with this series is kind of interview the POCs, kind of talk about what the city has to offer, what swag you have to offer, get people excited to join up with your team and play in the anomaly. So you're helping to run the Boston Anomaly. So kind of for people not in the US, because I think most people in the US know where Boston is, but for people not in the US, can you compare it to other cities on the map? Like how far away you are from different areas?
Sure. So Boston is on the coast of New England. It's about 4 hours away from New York City. It's not that far from the Canadian border, about the same amount of time. I do think that people know about Boston because it's a pretty world famous city. It is the birthplace of the American Revolution. It's the place where they threw all that tea in the harbor, and people, went through screaming, "The British are coming." That's Boston. And Boston's a super awesome city because you can walk around and get all sorts of interesting history. There's a lot of portal density. A lot of the portals are very historic. There's a lot of cool Boston neighborhoods and the Freedom Trail, which is a place that you can walk around and see some of these sites. And if you're not into history, it's also Red Sox Nation, which is our baseball team, the baseball team, and the famous Green Monster in Fenway Park, which will tell you a little bit about how we roll, which is very green.
So, you talked about the Freedom Trail and some of those kind of things. What are some famous landmarks that are, I guess, what are some famous portals, famous portal landmarks, those kind of things in town?
Sure. So pretty much every famous landmark is a portal.
We may have lost her. We'll roll with it. Okay, so Agent Pinesinger, do you know of any famous portal landmarks in Boston? Oh, okay. Okay. That's okay.
Landmarks have multiple portals on them. Um, the Boston Public Garden is famous for that book, Make Way for Ducklings. And there's a famous set of duckling statues that are a cool portal. Um, there is a lot of city in a small space. So Faneuil Hall is a famous place to get food, check out history. There's tons of stuff. The Old North Church is where they had, one if by land, two if by sea. So Paul Revere knew what to do in his famous ride. That's a portal. I mean, there are portals pretty much everywhere. There's famous patriots' graves that are portals. So there's no shortage of different portals that you'll want to keep the key to.
Awesome. Let's see. Okay, so banner missions of note. We have some images of some of the banner missions. So as you're talking about the banner missions, I'll try and flip through the pictures, and we can talk about those. So the first one I think was a panda.
Yeah, so there's a lot of banner missions in Boston. We have a lot of mission enthusiasts in the greater Boston and New England area, but I'm just going to talk about three. The first one, which is pretty easy, is called How to Be a Panda. It's 12 parts. It's this adorable banner of pandas, and it brings you through Chinatown. Boston Chinatown is a great place to get some food and just check it out. There's a lot of yummy things to eat there and good things to see. If you're feeling like you want to take a walk that is a little bit more, I guess, a little greener, the Greenway is a great place to go. It's a Rose Kennedy Greenway, and the banner shows it at night. It's a really pretty banner. It's 18 parts, and it's brings you along a mile of the Greenway. It cuts through all these famous Boston neighborhoods, so it gives you a really good sense of the city, and it gets you kind of out of the traffic. If you're like really epic and ready to have a banner that everyone is going to be jealous of because it's a slog, if you've got at least 4 hours, the 36 mission Sitco sign banner is absolutely worth it. The Sitco sign is this huge sign that lights up. It's right behind Fenway Park, and it's really famous. So when you get that in your missions, it's definitely something that you can brag about. And there's a lot of other missions too. We are having a Boston Mission Day. The Anomalobsters are hard at work putting together something really cool. So we're excited about that. Missions to do for Mission Day and lots of missions to do on your own as well.
I like that term, anomalobster. Is that what you're calling yourselves?
Down the coast to make sure that all the Smurfs' dreams are snipped up into pieces.
Awesome. Okay, that's some cool stuff you got going on there for missions and portals. So let's switch over to Agent Pinesinger, and we can talk about some of the swag that is going to be available. So let's see. Let me switch the. Okay, so well, actually, before we talk about that, let's talk a little bit about the community. And so this is not the first anomaly in Boston. You mentioned another one. So how many anomalies have you had in Boston?
I believe this will be our third. We hosted Helios back in the day, and then Abaddon, as I mentioned, which was the first round of flash shards. Enlightened won both of those events, and now this is our third. And as Marianne said, we hosted one in Portland, which had a lot of overlap. And in New England, we have a sort of a really tight community, regionally speaking. And what's really nice is that when there's a big event or a big op, everybody kind of pulls together, and it's not just about one city or one community. Everyone kind of pools their resources. So we all kind of help out and share the load, which is really nice.
Awesome. I think that there's you can definitely tell which team is stronger in the area. I think that regional assistance really kind of helps out the community, and you feel more together. You're able to work in different operations and stuff. So what are some of the famous operations that you've had in your region?
Well, we've had a number of successful mega fields. My personal favorite field in New England, actually the whole Northeast, was an op called Capital Punishment, which was first conceived during Obsidian Orlando Go Rock, I think, in the sort of haze of like early morning pain. There was a plan conceived to field from the state houses of the capitals of New England. And we ended up not including Boston, but we fielded from the grounds of the State House, sort of in the center of the cities of New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, and New Jersey, a series of connected fields right through downtown, which was incredibly challenging and really extremely fun and gratifying. So that's sort of a highlight for me. More recently, we had a successful Starburst during the Dark XM event, which was really fun, and again was sort of a nice team effort. People traveled from a pretty good distance to come down and help farm keys, and then come down on the day of and throw some links. So I think those are two pretty good examples of the way that that everyone really pulls together.
Yeah, I like hearing about those kind of ops, especially those ones, like you said, that cut through the cities and stuff. Those are very difficult, as I know. And it takes a lot of people, a lot of coordination. So I think it really speaks to the teamwork of your regional community. And I think you guys got good stuff going on. So Anomalies Swag. So let's talk about some of the swag, and I will rotate through some of these pictures. So I think the first one is okay. I've got the general logo. So did you want to mention something about that?
Yeah, so we are really psyched about our logo, which I think a lot of people will recognize, but maybe not everybody, especially if you are not from the U.S. But this is sort of based on Paul Revere, who was a famous Revolutionary War figure who embarked on a midnight ride warning towns that the British were planning to leave Boston and move. And that was really the night before the first day of the American Revolution. So he's really sort of one of the hallmark figures. And so our logo really kind of plays off of that, with him and his lantern shining the light of the enlightened across New England. So we're really featuring that logo on all of the swag because we just think it's so great.
I think it's really cool. You got the hexagon around there, and again with the Paul Revere's ride, instead of the red coats, now you have the blue coats that are coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're actually warning all of the Smurfs that the enlightened are coming. So be warned. Be warned, all you out there.
So the next one I have is the bike team T-shirt. This one looks really cool. I like this.
Yeah, this is like maybe my favorite swag item ever. I've never been on a bike team, but this is enough to make me really seriously consider it. So I think Abraham mentioned the book Make Way for Ducklings, which is a famous children's book set in like downtown Boston. And so to kind of play off of that, we have Make Way for Bike Team, which is sort of led by Paul Revere and followed up by a series of ducklings. And these are on like performance shirts. So they'll be, I think, pretty ideal for people to wear on the day of.
I have not been on a bike team either, and I kind of want to join an enlightened bike team just so I might buy your shirt just to have that shirt, because that's a really cool.
Sounds great.
Okay, so the next one is the coin.
Yeah, and so the coin again really features the logo. It is a hexagon, which I think is really cool. I like the coins that are shaped a little differently. And this one, it's like really, it's sort of silly, but like it's really shiny, which I just find really appealing. I'm a little bit like a magpie, so I really like the kind of shine on it.
And I like, it's a very basic design. It's got nice bold print on it. It's got nice. I like the Cassandra Prime on the angle and the hexagon going. I like this design. It's a really cool coin design.
Yeah, thanks.
The next one is the pint glasses and the shot glasses.
Yeah, this was an item that people felt really strongly about having offered. And so again, it has the logo, and the drinking items come in a bundle, which is kind of nice. So you can order a classy drinks bundle, which features pint glasses, shot glasses, and of course coasters, because we're classy. So that's one of the bundles that's offered in the swag shop.
Oh, cool. All right. We have the I think that's it for the swag pictures. So, do you have a hotel or anything like that that you're featuring?
In Boston can be pricey, but we have been able to get a really great price. It's sub $200 a night, which, especially if you can find some people to split the room and kind of pack in, ends up being a lot more affordable than it would be otherwise. So we're really psyched about that. And if people want to get more details about the hotel deal, they can go to enl.rocks/Boston and register and get the details.
Awesome. So, while I have you here, I'll give you some open air time to talk to the team about whatever you want to talk about. Here's your chance to get your team rared up for the anomaly.
Are about fun in Boston. We're all about having a great time, and winning is fun. So we'd like to win, but fun is fun too. So when you come to Boston, you can find Pine Singer, myself. I'll have my XM detecting goggles on, and she'll have a big tutu. And we're here to help you if you've never been to an anomaly before. We have a lot of team themes. We're friendly. There's a lot of banners. I mean, Boston is a great place to run around and be a hooligan, as many generations of Bostoners have done. Boston in July is amazing. This is the best weather of the year. There's good food, there's good company. You can have delicious drinks in your classy drinkware. I recommend a nice full glass of Smurf tears. We're really good at making Boston. And you can throw tea into the sea at the Tea Party Museum. You can throw the dreams of the resistance into the ocean. You are going to have a good time in Boston. Pine Singer, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
I mean, there's really much else to say. I guess what I would say is I sort of resisted going to anomalies. So Helios was the first anomaly that happened after I started playing, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I think this is weird to go to a gathering of other people playing this nerdy game. And then I went to Abaddon in Boston, and it was literally the most fun I had had as an adult, sober or otherwise. It's just an incredibly fun experience to spend the day running around a city that may be familiar or may not be familiar, dressed head to toe in your team garb, like shouting at each other and cheering as you're staring intently at your phone, and sort of having that sense of community and togetherness. It's really, really hard to sort of capture, and I don't think people always believe me when I say that until they actually come to an anomaly and then kind of get it. It is an incredibly fun and rewarding experience. And if you are on the fence about it, I recommend just doing it. And as Abraham said, if you have questions, please reach out to us. Our job, I think, is really to make sure that everybody has sort of a fun and positive time, because that's really what our main goal is. I think that's really winning. I mean, winning is winning, but we want to win and have fun and have a positive experience. And so I think if people are on the fence, just give it a try. I really, really don't think people will be disappointed. It is an incredibly fun time.
Good times in a fun city with good company. What else can you ask for?
Absolutely. And I absolutely echo those words. As a fellow Ingress player, anomalies are just such an amazing experience. You have to, if you're anywhere near Boston, or even if you can just find a deal on Southwest or another airline or whatever and make your way there, anomalies are just so much fun. So thank you both for joining us today. And thanks for talking about your swag and your anomaly. And I hope this helps your team to understand what the Boston Enlightened are about and what your anomaly is going to be like.
It's not too late for you to switch to our theme We will throw in a free Make Way for Bike Team shirt.
Very, very tempting. Let me sleep on it, and we could talk about that later.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks again, and we will see you on the battlefield. Have a good night. Well, Portal Hunters, that was the Enlightened. Pine Singer and Babraham Linkamp had quite a bit to say about all of the things the Enlightened have to offer for agents coming to the Boston Anomaly. The swag is really cool. The community is very close-knit. If you're an Enlightened player, highly recommend going to the Boston Anomaly. It seems like they got a lot going on there. So, but I know they seem ready to throw bags of Smurf tears into the harbor. However, the Smurfs have their own things to say about that. So let's get right to the Resistance interview. So here we have Manny. We have who else was on there? Mrs. D. And we have Davis Dame 334. So let's hear from the resistance leaders of the Boston Anomaly. Welcome to our special edition of the Portal Hunter Club. Today we are interviewing POCs, points of contact and leadership for the Boston Resistance. So today on the show, we have Manny. We have Mrs. D. And we have Agent Davis Dame 334. Or 334 for short. Okay, so let's start with you. Let's talk a little bit about Boston and kind of get to know the town a little bit.
Well, I've lived in Boston for over 20 years now. I actually work in the downtown area, and as an Ingress player, it's an amazing place to play. Boston is close to a whole bunch of different tourist attractions. We have whole bunches of things to do in town, and if you're willing to go an hour or so out of town, we've got cities up and down the seaport, all kinds of cool places to go. I've been playing Ingress for 5 years in Boston, and it's just a great place to walk around. It's a very walking city. One of my coolest things that I like to do is busgrass. So you can play from a bus, you can play from a train, you can play on foot, you can play by car. We got everything. I like to go down to the seaport and take pictures of things, the ships coming in, and also capture portals. So it's a good place to combine all of the things that I like to do. So we're looking forward to welcoming everybody to come into Boston. We have great mission series for you, a lot of great things to eat and drink, and a lot of great places to play. I hope people are excited about that.
Awesome. So tell me a couple of you mentioned there's a lot of density and the bus grassing that you can go around to different areas. Tell me a little bit about some of the areas of note in Boston. Like, I've never been to Boston. Where do I want to go? What do I want to see? Are there any good areas to what should be on my hit list?
Well, you should take a subway or a bus or something. Get downtown. Downtown Boston is this great little nub of different kinds of portals, different kinds of businesses. Kind of sticks out into the water. That you've got the harbor on one side and the river on the other side, the Charles River on the other side. So anywhere down there, you just get off at a T stop. The T is what we call our transit system here. Get off on a T stop and just start walking, and you'll find some portals. You'll find some cool stuff. You'll find interesting statues. You'll find people doing cool things. You'll find some parks. You'll find some big buildings. You'll probably find a bunch of GPS drift. But we don't let that stop us around here, because there's always another portal around the corner. And you'll find some great missions that you can follow to show you some of the best sites.
Cool. So actually, I have some pictures. So let's go through some of the pictures that were sent, and we can kind of point out some of these areas. So we have. So this first one is a famous church, I believe.
There's the Old North Church, which is the one if by land, two if by sea, Midnight Ride of Paul Revere Church. There's a whole bunch of stuff dedicated to Paul Revere around here. There's portals with his name. There's statues, all kinds of different icons that you can find. That picture I took recently, it's beautiful here now. You can see sometimes the sky is gray, sometimes it's blue, but there's always something cool. You can kind of see that church peeking out.
Awesome. And then we got the, there's a couple of the harbor and a couple of the river, and I'm not sure which ones are which. So we could just, right.
Boston, like I said, it's kind of, there's the harbor on one side. There's a lot of shipping. You can take ferries from there. You can go out to the harbor islands. So the ones with the big ships, that's going to be the harbor, and some piers. Those used to be old working piers. A lot of them are now housing, tourist attractions, but there's still a lot of boats. There's still a lot of water traffic that happens around Boston. The ones that you can see of the riverside, people go sailing there. They go kayaking there. It's a great place to see some birds. And just to people watch. There's some great places just to walk, or if you're into jogging or biking, you can just go along there and just see a lot of this life that's going on in the city. All kinds of people live here. People love to be outdoors when the weather's nice.
Awesome. And yes, we want to talk about the community, because that's a big thing in the Boston Resistance. It looks like you guys have a very vibrant community. And you mentioned something about first Saturdays. So tell me a little bit about your first Saturdays, and I'll show some of the pictures of the community.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think we have any pictures of a first Saturday, but we've been doing first Saturdays since they first started. We don't do them every month, but we do them more months than not. Sometimes during the winter time when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, nobody really wants to leave their house long enough to go play portals in the middle of a snowstorm. But most of the time we do. And like I was telling you, we have this great tradition that one of my community members started, that if you hit level 16, either at a first Saturday or close to a first Saturday you come, we get you a tiara and we get you a cake, and we get you like Sweet 16 little package there. And that includes everybody from some of the younger women to some of the buff looking men. They all wear the tiara. It's great. I'm just happy one of my teammates started that, and I just think it's really sweet. And I unfortunately didn't get that because I was 16 before I even met this person. So, but it's cool. And if you make 16 during the anomaly, we'll probably have a tiara for you here.
Well,
come out, we farm outdoors, we farm indoors. We know where each other's deskies are, so we pop them up. We're always helping each other out, and I really like the community here, so that's what keeps me playing.
Awesome, yeah. And so I haven't reached level 16 yet, so maybe that's convinced me to come on out there. The Enlightened were trying to tease me with a bike shirt because I haven't been on a bike team, and they said if I switch factions, they'll give me a free bike shirt. But I don't know, this tiara thing sounds fun too. So maybe I'll have to come out and yeah. And the other thing is, I think, unbeknownst to me before we started recording this, we've actually helped each other on an operation. So one of the things I like to ask is, are there any famous operations from your town? And the Boston Resistance helped out with Operation Crazy Train, which came off of Rock Island in Wisconsin. And I was camping on the island. And remind me again what your part in that was.
We had a team out in Gloucester where one of the throw points was. So some folks from my team, I was out there, didn't get to throw, but one of my teammates who doesn't drive was able to come up with me, and she was able to get her Onyx badge. So that was pretty cool, and it was beautiful up there. I got some great pictures. I know they were distributed with the operation document that was made after that, just of being up in Gloucester at sunset, and hearing all the comms chatter over the Zello from the folks who were apparently running through something late at night out in Ireland as they were putting that up. So that was pretty awesome. The funny story that I was telling you was about the guy who had to bring me some keys, and he only got to town for a few hours, so he went and had waffles because that was his excuse for coming to town.
Awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one of the more notable ops in our area too. There was a lot of people put a lot of effort into that op, and that was a good fun time. It didn't fully be realized, but it was still an amazing time. Met a lot of great people, talked to a lot of great people. We used some of the people for intel for some of our other ops and things, and yeah, it was definitely one of the defining ops in the Midwest Resistance for sure. So thanks for your help on that one. So let's change gears and let's switch over to Manny, and we can talk about some of the anomaly questions.
Sure.
So, okay. So, is this the first anomaly in Boston?
Oh no, we are grizzled anomaly veterans over here. In fact, this will be our fourth anomaly. Our first was way back with Cassandra #1 pre-prime, and then we had a Helios anomaly, an Abaddon anomaly, where we got to learn all about shards and shard play in an anomaly, and now we're having Cassandra Prime.
Awesome. And you had another operation that, going back to that question real quick, you had another operation we wanted to talk about that kind of showed some of the awesomeness of your community. I don't know if it was technically an anomaly, but the Dark XM project happened earlier this year, and the Enlightened had a link star, but you guys had a city link. And so tell us a little bit about the city link.
Sure. Our objective was to link Newport to Albany, and the portal in Newport was right near a Enlightened A farm, and the portal in Albany was an Enlightened Couchy.
It always happens that way.
Yeah. But the really cool thing about that was we were able to pull together about 65 people from all over New England. Every New England state stepped up, and we had a good dozen people from New York, our stepchild of New England. I guess we'll adopt them. They stepped up and they helped, and it was a lot of planning, a lot of last minute stress, but it was great. We pulled it off. From the moment we started clearing to the execution, it was about, I think, 8 to 10 minutes. And, we made it through the checkpoint. Everybody gathered in Newport, or as many people who could gather in Newport gathered, and we had a nice community meet up in one of the pubs down there. And we were there all day. I know I didn't get home until 8:30 at night, and when I left Newport, there were still people partying, so it was great. Great for team morale and for everything. Piggyback off of that great success.
Awesome. So, as you said, Boston is, you've had many anomalies and things. Do you have new people helping out with the organizing? Do you have locals? Do you have regional folks? Tell us a little bit about, as much as you can say, tell us a little bit about the community that's helping to organize.
So, based on the Abaddon, this is essentially a whole brand new crew of people helping. Roles have been, if they helped with Abaddon, their roles have been increased. And like for me, example, I was just a vetter, I believe, or on the outskirts of helping for Abaddon, and now I'm a POC. Ruth was helped with that with
I did a lot of community stuff.
Exactly.
Getting new people involved and helping people socialize. But yeah, this is all new for all of us. It's kind of cool.
Awesome. Good to hear. So let's switch gears again and let's talk to Mrs. D. Oh, you got one more thing? Go for it.
So I was just sorry about that. I was just gonna say a lot of new people stepping up who really hadn't had this opportunity in the past, and they're doing great. You know, be it from swag design, swag selling, recruiting, planning, hotel planning, event planning, everything that Niantic has been throwing at us, or you know, playing hot waffle with us to throw it back to the waffle before. Yeah, you know, it's been an amazing experience so far, and it's still not over. We're within 50 days of the event, 49 and change.
Yeah, it's getting really close. And that's really cool. I'm glad we took the time to talk about that, because I think it's really cool to see new faces helping, old faces helping, the whole thing, you know, get everyone, you know, give them their time to help and help with the anomaly and make it such a cool event, because so many people have so much to offer, and maybe a lot of people don't know how to ask or don't know who to ask, that sort of thing. So it's really cool to hear that there's a lot of new people helping out.
Yeah, I mean, one big thing that all three of us believe in is we don't leave anyone out.
Yeah.
And if they want to help in some way, we'll take them in. We'll give them some sort of role. We'll gladly put them on a team. We just ask that, you know, they treat everybody with respect. And, you know, that's pretty much our motto.
Awesome. Yeah.
Local team has a standard. If you get met to be in the local community, are you a jerk? Are you a spy? Or are you a bot? And those are the questions I ask.
Fast.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears. Let's talk to Mrs. D here. And we can talk to her about some of the swag. So I have some pictures. So, and I know you can't see the pictures as we're... So I'll kind of tell you what I'm looking at, and we can describe those. And then any other things you want to talk about, we'll add... we can talk about those. So the first thing I have is a new logo with the lobster and the cappuccino, I think, maybe. So tell me a little bit about that.
That is a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee.
Without the intellectual property of Dunkin' Donuts, don't sue us, please.
It says resistance on it. That is the Mass Bay Resistance lobster. That's not the official logo of the Cassandra Prime, but it's one of our side logos. It's the Mass Bay Resistance lobster, who we try to dress up depending on what time of year it is. So this is summer. The official beverage of summer for the Massachusetts Bay Resistance agent is a iced Dunkin' Donuts coffee. So that's what the coffee lobster is holding. So we have patches and stickers available with him on that. We also have very cool lanyards that have him on it as well. And those lanyards have a bottle opener. So no need to worry that you're carrying your bottle opener around with you, because you have it around your neck. Don't have to worry about scratching up your lighter or breaking anything. You can open your bottle because you've got your lanyard with your coffee lobster on it.
Awesome. Awesome. And I have pictures of the coin, the front and back of the coin. So here's the front.
It's a very good looking coin. Empress put a lot of work into that, along with Manny and a couple other contributors. We're very proud of that coin. It's got the one side that has part of our logo on it, with the Boston Tea Party ship tossing some frogs overboard, and then the other side with the Boston Patriot. It's a beautiful coin, and limited availability on that. Our store is going to be shutting down in a couple of weeks, and all of our stuff is limited availability, but particularly the coin. So if you're interested in buying, you want to get on that ASAP.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to stress that was mentioned to me. The store is closing soon, so within a couple of weeks. So if you want to get any of the swag from the Boston Resistance, you want to order as soon as possible and get your orders in. Again, the coin had limited availability. Any other swag you want to talk about?
Well, we have really great T-shirts. I'm not sure if you have a picture of that, but it's got our official logo on it, which is also designed by Empress. On the back, on the front, it says Cassandra Prime, and it also has the customizable option of putting your agent name on it, which is always cool to have something that has your own IGN on the back. And again, that's only got about 2 weeks left to be able to order. You'll be able to buy a shirt on site, but you will not be able to put your own agent name on it.
Awesome. Okay, so hotel deal. I know when the Enlightened were interviewing, they requested that you register and then they'll tell you about the hotel deal. So is there anything you want to talk about your hotel deal or any other kinds of anomaly things going on?
Well, we actually did not wait for Niantic to book our hotel block. We put that out for our agents quite a few months ago. So that's actually almost booked. It is the Niantic recognized official Resistance hotel. We have a great deal. If you want to contact me, it's justmrsd@gmail.com. And I can give you the information for how to book that hotel. But there are very few rooms remaining. So if you're interested, you want to reach out ASAP to be able to get in on all the fun there.
Yep, and the hotel has at least 2 portals, and they're usually blue too.
Yes, well, they'll be blue through the anomaly at any.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So this has been a great roundup of the Boston Resistance. You all offered some great, talking about the swag, the community. There's a very vibrant community in the Boston Resistance. Sounds like it's going to be a really good time. So all of you, will give you some open mic time. Let's start with Manny. So if there's anything you want to say to agents around the world, here's your chance. Go for it.
Oh, agents around the world. We here in Boston want to do you proud. Come, help us in any way. If you can't attend, please feel free to sign up for some sort of intel dispatch work. Pass on. Maybe you know somebody who might be able to attend. If you can't, pass it on. We'd love to see as many of you there. It'll be great. And the after party is going to be really fun too. So, yeah, please. It's been great talking to you. Manny18 in the game. If you see this and you see me on site, just say hi. I'll probably give you a big hug.
Awesome. 334. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, my first anomaly was Cassandra. It was a week after I made 8. We won that anomaly here in Boston, and I think we can do it again. And I think people should come and help us do that and help us celebrate doing that. And I would look forward to seeing you all here.
I know we have quite a few agents from my area that I think are going. So we have got a good contingent from Wisconsin going for sure. And then Mrs. D.
So my first anomaly was in Boston. I'm a little bit newer than both Manny and Ruth. Mine was Abaddon. But I think we are well positioned to win this anomaly as well. I'm super excited. I really encourage anyone who might be considering coming to Boston to please come out and join us. We are running a promotion right now where if you register for the anomaly at boston.willbe.blue before June 30th, you will be entered into a raffle to win a free piece of swag. So do please sign up, try to win that, and come out and say hi to us. We're a lot of fun, and we're going to win.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me today. It was a great time, and I hope to have this be a blue Boston come July. Yes, wicked blue Boston. All right. Well, thanks again, and we will talk to you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Portal Hunters, for joining me on this tour of Boston. Portal Hunters of all colors, Enlightened Resistance. Hopefully this gives you a great flavor of Boston and what the Anomaly is going to be like. The Boston Anomaly is July 28th, 2018. And the links for registration are in the description of this video. If you are watching and your city is hosting an Anomaly anytime in the next year, email me, this side, portalhunter@resradio.net. I would love to interview the leadership for the cities. Working on getting some other interviews set up. So if you're interested, even if you're not in the US, if you're from Europe, Asia, whatever, email me. We'll get interviews set up and we can talk about your cities. So again, Boston, July 28th, 2018. Links for registration are in the description. Those links will help you get you, if you haven't done an Anomaly before, those links help sign you up for your team locally. So the folks that you saw today, they're organizing the teams, getting people set up, giving them information and things. There's also the Niantic sign up. That's the tickets, the Niantic swag, getting signed up for your badge and that kind of stuff. But the leaders from both teams will help you out. So sign up in the links below if you're interested in going to Boston, July 28th. And we will see you on the battlefield. Thank you all, Portal Hunters, for joining us today. We will see you all next week.